And I wanted to share the success story, this video, because this is how your life could be. This is how everybody can live life. And I'm not bragging. I'm doing it from a space of I'm still in shock at how our angels literally show up for us all the time. If we ask, they show up. So you have to use your voice. Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, love attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. And in this video, I am so excited to, number one, be alive. Number two, I am so pumped to finally sit down and share all of the magic that I've experienced in the past week. One week ago, I got into a car accident, and it was pretty devastating, and it was scary, and it was abrupt. But yet everything since then and everything before then has been so miraculous, so smooth, so fun. But also at the same time, I was sitting there crying and I was so emotional, and it was like everything was happening all at once. And it just reminds me of how we have to experience chaos before a manifestation can arrive. So in this video, I want to talk about the success story of me manifesting a new car. I want to talk about every little detail and how it was taken care of by the universe, how the universe confirmed every little detail, and how I was hooked up in every way possible during this entire process of me, getting into a car accident, having to have my Jeep totaled, to the amount that I got for my Jeep, to manifesting a possible new car for myself, manifesting wonderful people to take care of me. So I'm going to go through all the details in this video. So settle in and pay attention, because you want to pay attention to how this works so that you can make it happen for you in your reality. So instead of becoming a victim to life and saying, oh my gosh, I just got in this car accident, or this thing just happened, and you want to be able to say in that moment, okay, this is an opportunity to see it differently and to create my way out, right? So now this thing that happened to us, well, now are we just going to sit and complain about it and say, oh, this happened and I'm not going to have any help? Or are you going to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to manifest the best car insurance adjuster to help me. I'm going to manifest the best chiropractor. I'm going to manifest the best person, the inspector for my Jeep, to give me the highest amount for my Jeep. Okay. So these are the things that I want to teach. I want to teach you that during chaos, I want you to remember your powerful co-creator abilities. Okay. So first thing that I did was 3 weeks ago, actually, it was probably 4 weeks ago, I was manifesting a retreat. I was imagining myself at a spa retreat, getting these beautiful treatments, going to see motivational speakers, being in a luxurious place with friends, with girlfriends, right? And then 3 days later, so after I held that vision for 4 nights in a row, 3 days later, one of my clients asked me to go to a destination spa retreat up in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. So it's like 3 hours away. She's looking to start her own retreat center. So she wanted to do some recon and wanted to get some info on, like, what do we love about this retreat center, and how can she pull all the things she loves from that center and put it into her own. So she brought me, her 2 daughters, and another lovely friend. We all went together and spent the weekend together, and that alone was a magical journey. I posted a bunch of shorts while I was there. There was deer coming to our balconies where we were sleeping. It was so beautiful. There was snow on the ground when we got there. These are all things I had in my vision when I was manifesting this. I originally was manifesting a retreat in like warm environment and doing yoga like outside. And then as Christmas was getting closer and Thanksgiving, I was like, you know what, it'd be cool to go somewhere where it's cozy and snowy and there's a fire going. And that was this place. This place had fires going all the time inside. There's like 3 different fireplaces. You could walk around in your robe. There was meditation rooms, a whisper room, so many different cool features, but I don't want to go into too much detail about that place. You guys can look it up. It's called the Lodge at Woodlock. So I go there and I walk in and I'm like, this was in my vision. This is so cool. So I was taking videos of everything. My client paid for a massage for all of us. And then I got a facial the next day. So there was all these little gifts that I was getting through this process that was free. I didn't have to pay for any of it. It was literally manifested. And it was a couple $1,000s probably for the whole stay. So I manifested that weekend, right? I felt my energy leveling up. I felt so good. I'm like, I just feel like I'm a new woman. And before that was the day after Thanksgiving that we left to go to the retreat. Before Thanksgiving, for 3 nights in a row, I just committed. And I'm like, you know what, Michelle, you deserve a new car. My Jeep, the heat was not working on the left side of my car. And my back window, when I zip it, it doesn't like latch all the way down. So cold air can kind of get in. So every day I'm waking up like wanting to go on my morning drive to get my coffee, but I'm like, oh, it's so cold. I don't want to go. So I wouldn't be doing the things that I wanted to do because my Jeep just wasn't serving me anymore. And I love my Jeep. I was not, believe me, I was not ready to say goodbye to it. And when I wanted to say goodbye to it, I wanted to be in control of when. I wanted to have a moment with it. I wanted to like cherish it. So when I got in my car accident, it was like a whole grieving process with me letting go of my Jeep because it kept me alive after my daughter passed away. It was the one thing that I could go to, and it was a connection between me and my car. It's where my car held a lot of my grief, held a lot of my joy. Every time I would get in my Jeep, the top would be down. I could feel the breeze and the sun on my skin. And I'm like, this is happiness. This is what every person grieving needs because it literally is joy in a car. Um, so I sat for 72 hours straight and I held my vision. And I was like, you know what? I want a warm car. I want a sturdy car. I don't know if I want a Jeep again. I want something stronger, more like sturdy. So I was like, let's get a Bronco. Because with the Bronco, you can flip the top back like a Jeep, but it's bigger, it's higher up. I don't know. It just felt more solid. I could probably get heated seats in it. And it felt like more spacious. It didn't feel as like closed in and tight. So every night before I would go to bed, I would imagine myself opening the door to the Bronco, going in, and one of my clients got me a really cute charger for my phone. And this is important. When you guys are manifesting, this is really important. You want to feel into every small detail. So I was imagining myself getting into this white or maybe light blue Bronco. It was mostly white. And I would get in and I would see my car charger. My car charger that my client got me has all different pastel colored hearts on it. It's almost like those beaded bracelets where you move them and you can count them, or yeah, it's like a rosary, but their beads actually like move and they slide, but they're all hearts and they're all pastel colors. So I was imagining it. I'd get in the Bronco and I would see that charger and I would see the pastel colors and I'd be getting into this beautiful high up Bronco and I'm in it and I'm driving and it's pretty sturdy. It's not bouncing around too much like my Jeep. And it's not as noisy because the hard top or the soft top is a little bit thicker than my Jeep top. So I was imagining all these tiny little things. I was thinking, oh, it's safer for kids to travel in the back because we're higher up. My friend got in an accident in a Bronco in the summer and she was like, walked away fine. The other car like literally bounced off of the Bronco. So I was envisioning like just feeling so safe with my nieces in the back seat. And I did this for 3 days, for 72 hours. Okay. Then Thanksgiving comes. I go to the retreat on Friday. On my way home from the retreat, I get into a car accident. And same kind of situation as my friend. I was going through an intersection, 50 to 55 miles per hour. A woman turns in front of me. Don't know why she turned. I was thinking, I'm going to die. And why is she turning? Like it was such a mind-blowing question. Like it was so weird that she would turn. It didn't make sense. It's like, you're not supposed to turn right now. Like, why are you in the middle of the intersection? I'm going like full speed. So I slammed on the brakes, had no time to react, to swerve or anything. And I just knew I was going full speed into this other car, which felt like a wall. And I just was bracing for impact. Jeep was smoking. I hit, airbags deployed. They hit my face. I just remember saying to the policeman, like, I feel fine everywhere else. I just can't feel my face. I was like, do I have any blood? Am I cut anywhere? Like I couldn't feel or see anything. And there was a couple nice men. I went over the whole story in this reading. I'll link it here in my most recent reading. So if you want to go watch that reading, in the beginning, I share most of the story there. But I literally manifested people to help me. So, and you could consider it manifesting or not, but I had a dream a couple nights before of a man coming to help me with my Jeep. He was either starting my Jeep in the dream or he was getting my keys out. I couldn't figure out what he was doing, but he was in my Jeep reaching in, grabbing for the keys. And after my accident, guess what happened? A really wonderful man across the street walked over. He immediately went and tried to get my keys out to turn off my Jeep because it was smoking and he just didn't want anything bad to happen. He grabbed my purse. He grabbed my phone out of my Jeep. I think it was like somewhere on the floor. He brought it all over to me and he put his number in my phone so that I could contact him because he was a witness for the accident because I was like shaking. I couldn't even type anything. He helped me call my sister-in-law. I called her to come pick me up. He stood right next to me. And I swear my dream was letting me know that he was coming into my reality and he would be an angel. Another dream that I had 2 nights before the accident was I was being hugged by I don't know if you guys follow the Human Garage on Instagram and on YouTube. His name is Gary, and he teaches about working with our fascia to heal our body to release trauma. So in the dream, I'm holding a really cute white cat. I'm holding this like white little kitten in this arm, and it feels so warm and fuzzy and cute. And then I'm hugging Gary. And as I'm hugging Gary, I feel a transfer of energy from his heart to my heart. And Gary represents fascia, right? He represents the body and healing the body after trauma. So here I am having this dream 2 nights before my accident. It's like he was transferring me some sort of energy, maybe for me to handle this accident. I don't know. Then I had the dream about the guy getting my keys out of my Jeep for me. So it's almost like my guides were letting me know, and they're itching my head right now. My guides they always make me itch during my readings and during my sessions, but my forehead keeps itching. Could be my hat, but how cute is this new hat? I just got it with my friend Laura. But so my guides were giving me all of these dreams and letting me know, like, every step of the way, everything is okay, Michelle, this is meant to happen. So I received that energy from Gary in my dream. And remember, people in our dreams, they could just be symbolic. It's symbolic of the body and healing and trauma. Like, hey, trauma's on the way. You have a cute little white cat who's going to open up your heart. White cats represent heart opening and healing. Black cats represent protection. They set up grids around your house. They protect your home. They pull energy from you. Okay, so cats are very, very significant. So I was holding a cat, hugging Gary. I saw the dream. I had a dream of the guy taking my keys out or putting my keys in, but that actually happened with the guy at the accident. Then the 2 police officers were super sweet. They took care of all the information. They got all of the other woman's information because it was her fault. She was considered a contributor to the accident. They got everything down for me so that I didn't have to do it. The one police officer put me in the back seat of his car, which I felt kind of weird getting into like this, police backseat. It was not very warm and fuzzy at all, as they shouldn't be. And he drove me up to the hospital waiting room. If I wanted to be seen, I could have, or I could just sit there and wait because I had an hour to wait for my sister-in-law to come get me because that's how far away from home I was. So I'm talking really, really fast. I just realized I got to slow down. Okay, so the 2 police officers were so kind, so wonderful. They made sure they got all the information. They basically just did everything for me. Maybe that's their job. Maybe they always do it, but I just felt like I didn't have to do anything. And I'm like, this is really nice. Like, I'm so glad that I don't have to do anything right now because I can't even think straight. And then I called my sister-in-law. She was on her way. What else happened? Then I get home, I sleep. I'm like shocked that I don't feel anything. I woke up with a stiff neck the next day. And here's where the magic started. So the next day I woke up and I was praying. I was like, somebody just, universe, send me somebody to help me with all this. I don't know about insurance. I don't know if I should go see a doctor. I just don't know what to do next. What do I do about my Jeep? They were towing my Jeep to a garage up north. Like, that's also an hour away. So I just felt like there was all of these moving parts that I'm now responsible for. And one of my woundings is that I fear doing things alone. And that's been my life mission, is that to realize that I'm not alone and to not tell my story that, oh, I need a husband to do this, or I need a partner, or I need family to help me with this. Like, the universe is my source. So it's a reminder to all of you that the universe is your source. You are never alone. You are okay. You're protected. And these situations show up to let us know and remind us that we are protected. Everything literally was taken care of for me and I didn't have a partner or a family member doing anything for me. It was all the universe jumping in and bringing me the right people at the right time to help me. So the next day I'm on the phone with Geico, and we're talking about whether I want to go through my insurance, whether I want to go through the other lady's insurance. And I'm on the phone going, oh my God, I don't know what to do. So I quickly asked my angels and my guides on the phone in my head. I'm like, angels, what do I do right now? Which one do I do? And the first one I heard was deductible. Like go through your insurance, use your deductible, get a rental car, and then we'll take it from there. So I agreed to the first option. And the woman was like, all right, here's your enterprise number. You can go to any enterprise local and go get a rental car. We'll take care of $1,000 of that for $35 a day at $1,000 maximum. So I could have a car for 30 days. So I was like, okay, at least I have a car to drive. Thank God I have insurance, and thank God I can use that. And then the next step was I had to open up a medical claim. So I was like, oh no, like, I don't know what to do. What doctor do I go to? I haven't seen a family physician in years. I've been so healthy. I've been so good. And I prayed. I said, angels, please bring me the perfect doctor, the perfect person to go see. And I'm very holistic. I don't like to go through the typical family physician. I wanted to go to somebody who has the same values as me, has the same belief systems as me. And so I texted my friend Elisa because I know she's very much so into homeopathy. And she's the one that got me to take the homeopathy class in 2020. So I'm well versed in the holistic approach, but I didn't have any doctors underneath my belt that I could call, to go to. So I text her on a whim. I'm like, hey, I'm like, what do you think I should do? I'm like, I probably have whiplash. I don't want to take this lightly. Just because I'm not feeling anything right now doesn't mean something can't surface like 2 months from now, right? So I'd rather get x-rays. I'd rather get taken care of. And she immediately sends me the number of her chiropractor. And he ended up being a guy that she went to high school with. Um, and the name of the chiropractor was Freedom. So I was like, oh my gosh, I love that word freedom. It just feels right. It feels resonant. I'm all about setting people free. A lot of my teachings are about freeing you from your mind. So I was like, this feels like synchronistic. So I called and I was like, hey, I just was in a car accident. I'd really love to see the chiro. Like, is there any way you guys could squeeze me in? And they're like, sorry, you're probably gonna have to wait a week. And then she called me back after I prayed and asked for a quick appointment and the best chiropractor or doctor. My best friend sent me the number. Then I called and they literally called me back and they're like, hey, are you available tomorrow morning at 9:40? I was like, I was like, holy shit. I was like, this is awesome. Angels, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I got an appointment at 9:40, literally the next day. And that same day, my next door neighbor was so sweet. And I texted him, I was like, hey, I was like, he said he was going to be home working from home that day. I was like, would you mind taking me to Enterprise so I can go get my rental car? He just happened to be home. He drove me to Enterprise, and listen to this. I was needing a car to borrow, and my mom has two cars and she has a white Jeep Cherokee. And I asked her to borrow it, and she was just like a little resistant to it. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go through insurance. I'm not going to bother my mom if she has an issue with it, which I was kind of annoyed at, but whatever. She has her own things. So she had a white Jeep Cherokee. So my neighbor takes me to Enterprise. Guess what's sitting on the lot waiting for me to rent? A white Jeep Cherokee. So I was looking to borrow the car for my mom, and the same exact car was the car that Enterprise had for me. It was a white Jeep Cherokee. So that was another synchronicity that my guides were like, you know what, Michelle, you think you need to ask your family for help, but you don't. You have us, you have your angels, you have your guides to bring you exactly what you need. Okay, so that same day, I got my rental car and I got an appointment for the next morning with the chiropractor. Then I had to drive back to the scene of the accident. And to go back 2 days, I am so aware of the nervous system and trauma and what an accident can really do to us emotionally, physically, spiritually. So the first thing that I did post accident was I called my mentor and I was like, hey, it's just in an accident. And she immediately was like, I'll be over tomorrow at 4:30. I texted her. I didn't call her. I don't know why I was doing this. I texted her and told her about the accident. She responded, said, oh, honey, I hope you're okay. I will be over tomorrow at 4:30. Be prepared. We're doing a session. So we did like a 2 to 3 hour best session, which is called bioenergetic synchronization technique. And it works with the conscious mind, the subconscious mind. It merges and it heals any kind of new neural pathways that were birthed through the trauma. So when we have trauma, a new fear a new groove in our mind of fear can be birthed. So, someone might get in a car the next time and be scared to drive. Somebody might be going through an intersection and be really scared the next time a car passes by. So, what these sessions do is they kind of remove the possibility of that fear being there. They take out the groove, and it's all with pressure points on the head. It's all about a breathing technique, your eyes looking in a certain direction and focusing. And we're saying a certain number and a certain word the whole time we're doing the pressure points. And it takes about 2 minutes. And we can do a treatment for 5 different things in one session. So I could get I might do 2 minutes, 5 different times to heal 5 different traumas. So it's very compact and easy to do, and it works so well. So even the next day or 2 days later, I had to drive back to the scene of the accident. I had to go pick up the police report. I had to go pick up all of my belongings out of my Jeep. Once it was at the garage where they towed it to, I had to take my license plates off. So me driving another hour in a rental car that I'm unfamiliar with, I thought I was going to be terrified. I cried a little bit on the drive there because I just felt so unstable in a car again. But then it kind of went away, and I texted my mentor and I'm like, thank you so much for that best session, because I've had to drive back up to the scene of the accident twice in 2 days. Because the first time I went up, I got the police report, got my belongings, and then the second day I realized I didn't get the license plate. So here's another magical part. The woman that was working at the garage, I shared a little bit about my story and how much my Jeep meant to me. And I walked into her office and she had a cute little frog on her desk. And you guys know I love frogs. I have a meditating frog outside of my front door. I have a knitted frog in my Jeep. It's literally like hanging on the handle of where the passenger dashboard is. So I noticed the frog. I'm like, oh, frogs are my spirit animal. I love them so much. And she's like, oh, she's like, that's cool. She's like, yeah, they're so cute. They just sit there and they stare at me work all day long. And we just made a quick little joke about it. That's the first day that I met her. The second day that I came back, she's like, Michelle, you're back. I was like, I am. I was like, I forgot my license plate. She goes, I tried to find you yesterday. She's like, I wanted to give you the frog. She's like, I thought it'd be cute that you would have the memory, because I know the frogs are meaningful in regards to the loss of your daughter and your angels and your guides. And she's like, I wanted you to keep the frog as a memory. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so sweet. So when I went up to go pick up my license plates, the plates were on the counter with the frog on top. So here I am walking in, annoyed that I had to drive another hour back up there, but I go to get my plates and I'm like, human beings are so freaking thoughtful and so sweet and so caring that she gave me the frog. And it was just a nice little confirmation that all along this way, my best friend got me the chiropractor. They squeezed my angels, got me an appointment the next day at 9:40. My neighbor was home. He was an angel, drove me to Enterprise. Enterprise gave me the white Jeep Cherokee that I couldn't get from my mom, which I was really frustrated about, because I'm like, me and my mom have come so far. Why isn't she willing to help me in this situation? I almost just died. Like, how are you not just like, here, my child, like, have my car for the week? Meanwhile, I had friends from high school who were texting me saying they saw my Instagram post. They're like, if you need my car, you can borrow it. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't need it. And I'm like, this is crazy that people I don't even talk to on a regular are offering me their car. And my own mom was a little like resistant to it. So I had to let it go. Everybody has their own things. But my angels hooked me up with literally the same model, same color of that car. And then I go up to get my plates, and there's a cute little frog sitting on my license plates. So spirit, God, and the universe literally has been working through every single person on this journey for me. And if you open yourself up to this, it'll work for you too. And one thing that I kept doing before I'd make a phone call to the garage place, I would say, and maybe you guys can practice this, I would say, angels, jump into my body, give me the right words on this call. And that's all I'd say. And then I would also say, please bring me the perfect person to talk to. Please bring me the perfect scenario. Please bring me the least amount of money that I have to pay. And I just always set an intention before I make a call, before I go and do anything. Angels, keep me safe in this car as I'm driving to this place. Keep everybody safe around me. Keep everybody away from me. So you're constantly opening up that door of communication. So the next part was I go to see the chiro, super awesome. The women there are amazing. They make me feel so seen. And they say, you know what, we're going to set you up. They did it for me. They're like, we're going to set you up with a neurologist. And they're like, you might have a concussion. We want to get you checked out. We also think you should get a lawyer. You don't have to pay for it. We will give you the best lawyer. So the chiro was literally an angel. All the women that were working there were like, here's the lawyer, here's the neurologist. So they give me the number the same day for the lawyer. I call the lawyer. He is phenomenal. He is so sweet, so gentle. It felt like they were all like universe type people. And they were saying, you know, I'm a man of faith and I'm so glad that you're safe. Your angels must have saved you. And I'm on the other end going, like, am I really having this conversation right now? This is so cool that everybody I'm coming in contact with believes in angels. And I believe it's like attracts like, right? We just attract these people when we're in that vibration. So he gets all the details. He's like, Michelle, you don't have to worry about a thing. I'll take care of all the medical appointments. I'll relay everything to Geico to make sure that everything gets paid for. I was like, thank you so much. I was like, I've been, you know, so scared and so nervous to process this on my own. And then on my drive up to get my license plates, the neurologist calls. And the guy's name is Tom. He works with the neurologist, and I think he's been there for years. And the first thing he says, you guys, listen to this. He goes, Michelle, he goes, I have a 2016 four-door Jeep Wrangler. He goes, I don't know how you're surviving right now. He's like, my Jeep is my baby. It's my joy. I don't know what I would do without it. And he's like, I'm so sorry you just lost your Jeep. You guys, I'm like, who am I talking to right now? Like, is this my twin? Like, holy cow, like you get it. And I literally said, I was like, oh my God, Tom, I don't even know you, but you're amazing. And thank you so much for saying that, because, you know, my Jeep was my baby and you do get it. And, you know, my Jeep kept me alive after my daughter passed away. And she's just shown up for me every step of this way. I'm like, even this phone call, I feel like you were guided to help me. And he was like, I believe, he's like, I'm a man of faith. And he's like, and I heard that you're connected with the chiropractor. He's a man of faith. He's like, you are so taken care of. You're so great. He's like, how about we have you in for an appointment on this coming Friday? So I was like, oh my God, I get to be seen by the neurologist within a week. I got to be seen by the chiro the next day. So it's just been so freaking magical. And I don't know how. I've never, to be honest, you guys, my whole journey of being spiritually awakened, I've never experienced this many synchronicities or this many, like, I guess you can call it the red carpet effect. I know I teach it on my channel, but when the universe literally just lays it out for you, and it's like, here, just walk, I'll bring you everything you need. Okay, so there's more too. So this is not even like the end of it. So I get off the phone with Tom and he's like, you're driving. He's like, stay on your car phone, or, you know, the car was speaking to me. I wasn't on my phone because I refuse to be on my phone now. So because the other lady was on her phone when she hit me, but he was like, I'll text you everything. I'll text you the location. I'll text you the number. He's like, we'll see you on Friday. And I was like, well, I get to meet you and hug you. And he was like, absolutely. He's like, I'll make an appointment to come in and see you. So that got squared away. And then Tim, the guy, the adjuster, or the inspector, there was the Geico inspector. He had to go out to my Jeep at the garage before I went to pick up my plates. He went out there and inspected my Jeep, and he determined that it would be a total loss. And he gave me a number of $12,700. And I looked at the number and I put in my Jeep into kellybluebook.com, and my Jeep was in great condition. I just put like $2,000 into it in the last 5 months. I was like, there's no way my Jeep is worth $12,000. Like, it's at least worth like 16,000. And I did Kelly Blue Book and it said 12,000 to 16,000. So I'm like, I am definitely on the high end of this. I'm like, how do I fight this? So I asked him, I'm like, listen, I was like, I know you don't know this, but like, I did just put a lot of money into my car. I was like, is there any way you can honor it and put me at the 16,000? He's like, sorry. He's like, I can't. He's like, unless you show me comps of other Jeeps being sold for that price at that mileage, then I'll honor it. Well, there's no Jeeps being sold at 155,000 miles. That was my mileage. I had 155,000. I went online. The highest I could find was 122, and they were being sold for like 20 grand. So I was like, that's kind of the same, right? So I screenshot a couple of them, sent them to him, and I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pray to my angels. I'm going to say, angels, please bring me the 16,000. I don't know how, but please jump into my body. Allow me to find a way to get $16,000 for Charlie, for my Jeep. I called her Charlie. And then out of nowhere, this is so magical. Out of nowhere, my mechanic, who I texted the previous day, I told him, I was like, hey, Nick, I was like, I totally totaled my Jeep. I'm so sad. And I was like, what do you think my Jeep is worth? I was like, the inspector is going to be looking at my Jeep today, and I just want to have a number in my head. And he gave me 16,000. He goes, 100% don't take anything less than 16. And I was like, okay, cool. So he confirmed that for me the day before. Well, the next day when I got the 12,700, and I was like, what? No, like whatever. I went looking online for comps, prayed, and then Nick texted me. And guess what he texted me? He texted me with all of the receipts. He's like, Michelle, these are all the receipts that you just used or paid for your car in the last 5 months. He goes, send these receipts to them and tell them that they need to honor that. So I was like, oh my God, thank you, angels. So I took all the receipts and just texted. All I had to do was forward it. I literally forwarded it, and I sent a message to Tim, the inspector. I was like, listen, I was like, I really would love if you could help me out with this. I'm like, I loved my Jeep so much. The accident wasn't even my fault. I'm just so lucky to be alive, and this is so much to process. I was like, could you please just honor the fact that my Jeep was worth $16,000? And he called me on my way home from getting my license plates. I pulled over, and he's like, great news, Michelle. And I was like, what? And he's like, we got you. He's like, we got you the 16,000. I was like, thank you so much. So I literally am getting, like, minus the deductible. I have to subtract 500, but the other girl's insurance is going to pay that back to me. So I think there was actually a 555 in the number. It was 15,558 was the final total loss amount that I'm getting for my Jeep. So there was a 555 in there. So I thought the universe totally hooked me up with that. And the guy, Tim, was so like excited to tell me that he honored that. And he was even like, I'm so sorry about the loss of your daughter. I'm so sorry about your Jeep. Like, I am happy to help you. And it was just another wink from God, another like, oh my gosh, I'm being taken care of. I'm getting all of my needs met, and it's happening really effortlessly. But I kept praying and I kept asking in every single scenario. Okay, so then I get word that it's 15,558. And I'm like, so sweet. And he was like, all you have to do, he's like, for you to get this money, he's like, you just have to take the title of your Jeep, sign the back of it. I'll send you the shipping label, and you just go to UPS and you ship it out. As soon as we get it, we will direct deposit the money. And I shit you not, where's my journal? Oh, I think my journal's in my bedroom. I don't think it's on my table here. I don't need to get it. You guys believe me, but I journaled. I was like, this whole situation is going to be effortless. It's going to be easy. And I wrote down like 20K. I was like, I'm going to get 20K for my Jeep. I'm going to get the money in a week. It's going to be direct deposited. I'm going to get a brand new Bronco for the best price. Literally was planning out how this whole thing was going to go. And literally, the money could drop in today if they get it, or it could drop in on Monday. I'm filming this on Saturday. So I'm assuming it's probably going to be direct deposited on Monday. So literally, it would be almost exactly a week. The accident was Sunday, and I would get it the following Monday. So if we are creators, and if we are willing to be open to letting go and trusting what the universe does for us, we can co-create anything. We can allow the magic to happen. So the story is still not over yet, because now we got to get into me getting a new car. So, and it's literally not even a full week yet, and I already have a new car like brewing. So the 15,000 was confirmed. I sent my title yesterday. I UPS'd it out. I went right to UPS and got that squared away. Meanwhile, I'm so proud of myself because these masculine type of actions really scare me. And it's something that it's part of my wounding, like I talked about. I don't like to do things on my own and I don't trust myself, but I'm learning to. And I do trust myself and I trust life and I trust, like, how can you not trust after all of these things that have happened? It's like I'm literally in a boat and I don't even have to row the boat and I'm just being taken to the people, to the money, to the places to get everything that I need. And this all started with me manifesting a Bronco. So I'm just in shock right now at how this is all unfolding and still so freaking grateful that I'm okay. I'm waking up every day a little bit in fear of looking for my neck to hurt, looking for like an imbalance in my hips or if my legs are hurting. So I'm still a little bit in fear and working on that. I'm probably gonna have to do another best session on my physical body for my thoughts about my health so that I'm not expecting an illness or a problem later. So I sent out the title and then I texted my friend Laura, and Laura and I have been talking about Broncos for like weeks. And the 3 days that I did that visualization about me getting in the Bronco, well, the third day I get a text from Laura. Let me read it to you guys. Okay, on Friday, November 8th, which is the same week, I think it was so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was when I was visualizing the Bronco. This is 2 weeks before I went on the retreat. So it says she texted me at 1:45 p.m. She said Ford is having a thing with Jeeps. The Ford Jeep Conquest is a program that offers customers who own or lease a Jeep a discount on a new Ford vehicle. Customers can receive up to $1,000 off the purchase or lease of a new Ford vehicle. The discount is available on the Bronco and the Bronco Sport. And I put, OMG, I spent the last 2 days imagining me driving my dream Bronco. Stop it. And she put worth looking into for sure. And she said, even just come up and test drive one and talk to somebody at the dealership or any Ford dealership, really. But like we could really take one out and test drive. I put OMG, I would love that on it. I would rather come to your dealership. She goes, I know the people and I'm insured on all the vehicles on the lot, so I can drive them and no one would pressure you. So this was on November 8th. And literally now it's December 1st is when my accident happened. So I was manifesting the second week in November, and literally 3 weeks later, all of this unfolded. So she mentioned that thing, like if I traded in my Jeep or if I owned a Jeep, I get $1,000 off of the cost of my new Bronco. So I swear, like me manifesting, like what are the odds of Bronco doing a thing with Jeeps? Like it was a brand new thing. So I was envisioning it. The third day on the 72 hours, they say it's a sweet spot. That's when I got the text. So what would make her text me? You know, it was just so unique. So today I drove up to her and we got in her car and she took me to the dealership. We drove a Bronco and the wonderful saleswoman, her name is Deb. She was awesome. She was so sweet. She literally took care of everything. I didn't have to like do any kind of sales talk. I didn't have to negotiate. She just was honest. And because my friend owns the dealership, her and her husband, they gave me friends and family discount. I got the Bronco at cost and they ran all the numbers for me to lease it or to buy it. And the whole time I had a number in my head. I was like, all right, if it's below this number, I'm doing it. If it's above this number, I'm going to say I got to hold off because it's tight, right? So I kept envisioning a certain number. And I also was envisioning a color Bronco, a soft top, because I want to be able to flip the top back real easily. So all of this is currently happening and currently unfolding. But they came back with a number that was literally exactly within $10 of the number where I was saying sold if it's within that range, and it literally was within $10. So it looks like I'm probably going to be purchasing a Bronco this week. I am so freaking pumped. I cannot believe my angels brought this to me. I'm getting the best deal on the planet for this Bronco. It's a brand new 2024. And if I told you how much I was paying for it, I don't want to tell you yet because it's not done yet, but it's still in the oven. But I can't even tell you, my friends and my angel friends and my real friends, Laura, they're literally hooking me up. I'm getting like the most beautiful car with all the bells and whistles, the heated seats, just all the things. And it's discounted, like severely discounted. And guess what? I still get the discount for my Jeep. So because they're running that program, the Ford Conquest program, where if you trade in a Jeep, you get a discount on the Bronco. Well, even though I'm not trading in my Jeep because it was totaled, the fact that I own the Jeep and I just show them proof through my registration or my insurance, I still get the discount. So my angels have literally taken care of every aspect of this journey from me starting the first week in November, sitting down, manifesting for just 3 days. I was manifesting this Bronco for 2 months. I've had the Bronco on my wallpaper on my phone, but I really kicked it into high gear in that first week in November. I was like, I'm making this happen. I want this now. I am ready. But I did not think I was going to get in a car accident. So I guess maybe the universe knew that I wasn't just going to quickly hand over my Jeep. But I was being so annoyed that I didn't want to do my morning drives because it was too cold and my Jeep was cold. So I think the universe saw me suffering and was like, Michelle, you deserve better. They took me to the retreat. They leveled my energy up. My vibration rose so high while I was at that retreat. I felt so good. And I think that's what called this in. I think that's what called in the accident. I handled it with grace. I then was able to see how the universe was bringing me every single step after this. I was able to move the total loss amount from 12,000 to 15. I was able to get to see a chiropractor within a day. Then now I have a neurologist appointment in a week. Sometimes that takes a couple weeks to get in to see a neurologist. Meanwhile, they might push these things along because the accident was so severe. I don't know if it's just the way things go, but for me, it feels like a miracle. It feels like everything clicking into place. And now to almost have a brand new Bronco, which is what I originally was manifesting, and to have it in less than like literally 10 days from the accident, it's blowing my mind. Blowing my mind. I was thinking maybe Bronco by January, maybe by February, but not the first week in December, literally a month later. And not to be completely fine after I was going 55 miles per hour into like a wall. I just cannot believe my body's okay. And the dreams that I had, it's just insane, all the different things that have happened to me in the last month. And I remember doing a reading about the month of November and about how it was going to be fast moving, there's going to be travel, there's going to be lots of changes. I even wrote it on my chalkboard outside of my house. I put money's coming, fast changes, travel, people revisiting, new people coming in. And I've met so many new people. Also, before this all happened, I started a membership at a sauna and cold plunge place called Fire and Ice X. So I believe that raised my vibration. I started to hang out. There's a ton of guys that go there that are super amazing. They're spiritually awakening, and they're all just sitting in the sauna and we're just all talking. And it's like I was building this new community for myself and surrounding myself with people that are like me and putting myself in environments where there's more people like me. At the sauna place, at the retreat spa. And now I'm seeing the benefits of how, because I put myself in those environments, now I'm starting to see how I'm finding those people even through chaos. Finding the best chiropractor, finding the woman that gave me the little frog and she believes in angels. And then the guy Tom on the phone with the neurologist who also had a Jeep Wrangler who could appreciate, life. And he just was so grateful that I was safe and he doesn't even know me. So just being taken care of in every step of the way, I believe it's because we put ourselves there first. We intentionally take action to manifest the things that we want. And we go to like I had to act on the sauna and the cold plunge. I had to go do those things to raise my vibration. I had to sit down and manifest the retreat and say, you know what, I want this for myself. I'm going to do the actual vibrational work. I'm going to lay on my couch every night before bed, and I'm going to envision myself at the retreat. I'm going to envision myself in my new Bronco because I'm worthy of it. And so are you. So I feel like that wraps everything up. I don't think I missed anything. If I do, I'll hit stop and then jump back on. But I'm pretty sure I covered everything. Oh, there's one more thing. I had posted a little card reading on my Instagram before the retreat weekend, before the accident. And I literally pulled a card that said travel and truth. So it was almost an energy of somebody's going to be traveling, somebody's going to be feeling into the truth of who they are, what is real for them, what do they really want. And on the weekend of that retreat, I had so many synchronicities. I bumped into so many people where I was giving them free readings. The lady that delivered my room service the one night, I ordered this wonderful dinner and she had tattoos of dogs on her arm, and I started to give her a reading and she was crying and so grateful. Then she followed me on Instagram the next day and she was like, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much. You soothed my grief so much. And then another girl who had an 818, which was the time that my dad passed away, which is this necklace that I have that my friend Jessie got me, which is her birthday too. There was a girl at the spa who was giving me a tour of the spa and she had an 818 on her arm. And I said, oh my gosh, I was like, I love that. I have a necklace with 818. I was like, what's it mean to you? She goes, oh, it's my birthday. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. I was like, not to be sad. It's not sad. It's a good thing for me, but that's the anniversary, the time that my dad passed. And she goes, oh my God. She goes, my dad passed away too. And then I started getting messages from her dad for her. I was like, was your dad, are you worried about him not being safe? I'm like, he keeps saying, tell them I'm safe, tell them I'm safe. And she just started crying. She's like, oh my God, my mom. Yeah, we both have been wondering if he's okay. I was like, well, he wants you to know that you're safe. So like even during that retreat weekend, there was so much magic. I was in bed the one day and my angels and my guides were like, Michelle, get up and leave. Go to the shop. And I was like, what shop? I go on my GPS and I look for stores around me because the Poconos, there's not a ton of places to shop. And 15 minutes away, there was this antique shop. So I'm like, all right, guides, I'm going to listen. I'm going to get in my Jeep. And I went for the drive and I went to the antique shop and I ended up talking to the two owners of the shop. And something said, ask them about their cats. So I asked them, I said, hey, do you guys have cats? And he was like, the one guy, Michael, was like, how did you know? I was like, well, I'm intuitive. I'm a psychic medium. So sometimes I get messages for people and they're like, tell us about our cats. I said, well, I'm being guided to tell you that you must cleanse their energy. They've set up energetic grids around your house to protect you so that you're okay. And they were like, and I said something about their cats being pregnant and they're like, yes, they're like, our cats get out all the time and they always come back pregnant. And they're trying to stop it because they keep, having more kittens. So that was a really cool synchronicity that happened too, was I was literally laying in the hotel bed, comfy, editing a video, and my guides were like, get up and go to the store. So when we follow our guidance, we get more magic. We get to experience life in this new way. And I wanted to share the success story, this video, because this is how your life could be. This is how everybody can live life. And I'm not bragging. I'm doing it from a space of, I'm still in shock at how our angels literally show up for us all the time. If we ask, they show up. So you have to use your voice. Remember, every phone call I made, everything I did, I was asking my guides and angels before I did it, can you please jump into my body? Can you please give me the words? Can you bring me the perfect person? Can you change this amount to this amount? Can you change 12,000 to 16,000? And then you get the phone call and they're like, congratulations, we're giving you the 16. You can ask for anything and just believe it and let it go and let your angels and guides take care of every step of the way. And if you feel inspired, like I felt inspired to text certain people, to text my friend Elisa, that's what led to the chiropractor. I texted my mechanic and picked his brain and I was like, hey, what do you think about this? And then the next day he sent me the receipts. That was his idea. It was not my idea. So our guides are going to use other people, but sometimes they want us to reach out to them first to get the ball rolling. And we have to be willing to do that. You have to be willing to listen and then to take action. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was so fun to make. I've had the craziest week, the scariest week of my life, but also the most rewarding. I got to meet so many strangers who were acting from love and compassion and kindness. And the amount of people that have said, I'm so glad that you're okay, I'm so glad that you're alive, has been really life-changing. And there are a lot of wonderful humans on this planet. And I just want to remind you that you are loved, you are taken care of, and keep asking for help. Keep asking for assistance. Keep asking for magic. It is out there. All right, lovies, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Thank you so much for supporting me, my daughter, and our channel. And I will see you in the next one. All right, peace out.